And it's crazy how one moment of meeting one person starts a totally different path in this guy's life.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah.
So you go from this horrific moment where you might be locked up in jail for manslaughter for the rest of your life, and then all of a sudden a year later you're on The Walking Dead. You're on this, which, by the way, that first season, I think The Walking Dead kind of lost its way later on. I stopped watching it when it became like murder porn.
Mm-hmm.
But the early seasons, especially like season 1, god damn, was that a good show. I mean, it just captivated the minds of people, like, because it was so, obviously it's fiction and it's, you know, it's a horror movie, horror show, but it so speaks to the human condition when confronted with adversity and horrific circumstances.
What happens when you strip off the veneer of comfort that you know dictates so much of our behavior every day? And you know, it was really cool for me specifically to kind of play this character who was the first one that was kind of onto it, the first one that was like, you know, these rules they don't apply anymore in this world, and you can and look, I think for me as just a performer, you know, all the way around, man, is there was a wildness, there was a recklessness that I really sought after, just kind of in my life and in my own behavior that I was really kind of addicted to. But it always led me to really kind of horrible ends, and I was a real big fuck up, but I found something with this where I could take all of that and put it into work, you know? And it, man, it's been
that's
been my
where
sword,
the
man.
depth of that character comes from, right? I mean, that's the advantage that you have of having all those fuck ups.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, and the advantage of you know, I also think I'd be curious to hear what you thought about it, but I you know now you know you are who you are. It's like your intentionality. I think intentionality is so important. You know, like where are you when you begin? Like what is your goal? Like why'd you start this thing in the first place? And always kind of going back to that. And to keep yourself honest. Mm-hmm. You know, when The Walking Dead started, there was no craft service. There was no trade. It was like a bunch of us in the fucking woods. It was like Frank Darabont. He had done Shawshank Redemption. He had tried to get the show on HBO. They said no. AMC had like Mad Men and Breaking Bad. They're like, all right, we'll do your shitty little zombie show. We'll pick it up for 6 episodes, which basically means we don't really believe in this thing at all, you know? But he got these group of people together, and it was so humble, and everybody's so and the thing that's crazy about like a zombie show and about like living in a different world like that, there are rules, right? So if you put a bunch of actors in the woods and you have 6 people walking through the woods, and if you make any noise, the zombies could come. If one fucking actor is sitting there thinking about, okay, like, do I look cool here, or how's my makeup, or if one person isn't fully committed, you literally shit on the entire thing. Like the reality of that world is totally screwed. And it was sort of this like perfect storm of people that were young and hungry and committed. You had a bunch of people who were just starting families. So there wasn't, you know, there was no like going to bars or restaurants or any of that bullshit. It was just really, really gratitude. So lucky to be here. Let's make this work. Who gives a fuck if it's 6 episodes or 12? Let's just make this work. We all believed in Frank. And you know, there's something really to that, to the intentionality behind it. And you know, I think that's often something, you know, I had a baseball coach who once said, you know, when you're at bat and things start spiraling out of control and you know, baseball's such a heady sport. And you know, when you start, all of a sudden you start getting in your head and you start going down that spiral, you need to step out. And he would say, remember why you did it in the first place. Like, remember why you wanted to play baseball in the first place. Go back to the time when you were a kid, when you just fucking loved it, and like go there. And as long as it takes, just go there. Then step back in the batter's box. And I'm asking myself that a lot now. You know, because there's a lot. You know how the conversation started doing this podcast with me. Where, you know, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, what, you know, and I keep on having to go back to that thing because it does, man. It comes with a cost. And especially as the thing grows. But I keep going back to it's the people that I have on. It's the people that I have on. They're the people I want my kids listening to.